Now joined by the immigration barrister Paul Turner. Paul, welcome to the show. So, Paul, of course, Rishi talking tough. These flights will leave. The airfield's ready. The charter planes are ready. The staff are ready. He's going to have an all-night session if necessary. I guess the next point is, legally, will the mischief then begin, as we saw with Brexit? Will this go to various courts? Will it ever be allowed literally to get off the ground?
Well, Martin, I think that is... I think that's exactly what's going to happen, is that I think a lot of the people that oppose this plan, and I do myself on the fact that I think it's unworkable and inhumane, but a lot of other people, charities included, are itching to get started with the challenges. And I think it's worth bearing in mind that they will start on two bases. The first are going to be individual challenges that individuals can make. When the bill is being passed, they have allowed people to bring challenges based on their personal circumstances. And I would imagine that most people are going to be bringing challenges based on their personal circumstances, which is going to tie up quite a bit of court time. I know the government have said that they're going to deal with them within 45 days, and they've got 150 judges lined up to deal with them. But it remains to be seen whether the court process will actually get through them. Also, in respect of the individual cases, Rishi Sunak seems to be prejudging what the courts are going to do. The courts might find that the individuals can't be removed, in which case that's going to provide the first bar. But perhaps the biggest bar and the most challenging for the government relates to the ECHR. It is almost inconceivable that there will not be a further challenge to the European Court of Human Rights. Now, on the last occasion, the ECHR stopped the plane. It is, I would say, highly likely, given that there's no evidence that the situation has changed on the ground in Rwanda in any meaningful way, that the ECHR will issue what's called the Rule 39, which essentially is the injunction. The issue then is, and this is quite a constitutional issue in respect of the UK's obligations, international obligations, is whether that's ignored or not. And that remains to be seen. If Rishi Sunak does ram through the appeals and chooses to ignore the European Court of Human Rights, then it is conceivable that flights may get off the ground, but at what cost to the UK's international reputation, Martin?
Well, Paul, it sounds like the lawyers are already licking their lips to make sure it's definitely not chocks away. And I've got Chris Hope in the studio here, our political editor. He'd like to fire a question at you.
Hi, Paul. Yeah, I'm with Martin in the studio. Just to ask you very quickly, is it realistic for the PM to say he will ignore a foreign court, in this case, the Strasbourg court, if he tries to frustrate these flights taking off? Is that even possible?
In theory, it is, but it would be a step too far. There's never been a case where the UK government has ignored a Rule 39 interim relief application to stop somebody being removed from the United Kingdom. We would be out with the rest of the other members of the Council of Europe that are signed up to the ECHR. So it would be a massive step. But given the state of Rishi Sunak's popularity at the moment, perhaps it's a gamble he wishes to take.
Well, Paul Turner, the French have ignored the ECHR, the Polish have done the same, Hungary has, and so has Italy. It remains to be seen whether Rishi Sunak has a stomach for that fight, if it comes to that. Paul Turner, immigration barrister, thank you for joining us on the show and giving us your expert insight as ever. Great stuff.